The rise of Octavian. Rome was drowning in chaos. The assassination of Julius Caesar shattered the Republic, leaving fear, ambition, and uncertainty in its wake. Power was no longer controlled by law, but by those bold enough to seize it. Into this storm stepped a young and seemingly fragile heir, Octavian. Only 18 years old, few believed he could survive Rome's brutal political world. But beneath his calm appearance lived a sharp and calculating mind. Then came the revelation that changed history. In his final will, Julius Caesar adopted Octavian as his son and rightful heir. Suddenly, the unknown youth carried the name and legacy of Caesar himself. Standing against him was Mark Antony, Caesar's trusted general. Their alliance was uneasy, built on necessity rather than trust. Both men understood that only one could truly rule Rome. To secure power, Octavian joined Antony and Lepidus, forming the Second Triumvirate. Together, they hunted Caesar's assassins and divided the Roman world among themselves. But alliances in Rome rarely lasted. War for Rome. Legions marched across the empire, steel clashed, banners rose, and Rome prepared once again for civil war. The fate of the Republic would be decided by the sword. At Philippi, brutal battle consumed the armies. The forces of Octavian and Antony crushed Caesar's assassins. Revenge was achieved, but peace remained distant. Victory strengthened Octavian's reputation. He was no longer just Caesar's heir, he was becoming a leader in his own right. Meanwhile, Mark Antony fell under the influence of Cleopatra, Queen of Egypt. Their alliance blurred politics with passion, alarming Rome and feeding Octavian's ambitions. The Roman Senate grew restless. Rumors spread that Antony had abandoned Rome for Egypt. Octavian seized the moment, presenting himself as Rome's true defender. The final war. Octavian addressed his soldiers with confidence and vision. He promised stability, honor, and victory. The legions pledged their loyalty to him alone. Warships gathered along the coast. The coming conflict would not be fought on land, but upon the sea. At Actium, fleets collided in one of history's greatest naval battles. Fire and chaos filled the waters as Octavian's forces gained the advantage. Antony's defeat was inevitable. His power crumbled, and with it, his dreams of ruling Rome. In Egypt, Cleopatra chose death over humiliation. With her passing, the last rival to Octavian disappeared. The Roman world now belonged to one man. Birth of an empire. Octavian returned to Rome as a hero. Crowds celebrated the end of civil war and the promise of stability. In 27 BCE, the Senate granted him a new name, Augustus, meaning the revered one. Rome no longer had a king, yet power rested entirely in his hands. Augustus became Rome's first emperor, in all but name, carefully preserving republican traditions while quietly controlling the state. He transformed the city itself. Temples rose, roads expanded, and marble replaced aging stone. Augustus famously declared he found Rome a city of brick and left it of marble. Under Augustus began the Pax Romana, 2 centuries of relative peace and prosperity. Trade flourished, borders stabilized, and Rome entered a golden age. Legacy of Augustus. The empire expanded carefully under his rule, not through reckless conquest, but calculated strength. As years passed, Augustus reflected on a lifetime of power and responsibility. He had ended chaos and reshaped history. Before his death, Augustus ensured Rome's future would endure beyond him, a system strong enough to survive, even without its creator. In 14 CE, Augustus died peacefully. Rome mourned not a dictator, but the father of an empire. His legacy lived on through emperors' laws and centuries of Roman dominance. From the ashes of a republic, Augustus built an empire that would shape the world forever. History remembers conquerors, but Augustus mastered something greater, the power to create lasting peace. If you enjoyed this journey through history, subscribe and join Echo's History Docs for more stories from the past.